Down all of this morning, but we will see some winds today impact the area again. But first, let's start with our temperatures. We'll take it one thing at a time. We're seeing 60s as we wake up and some 40s and 50s for our friends in the mountains. So it's a cool start to the day. And this afternoon, we're not peaking in those 90s because that system is approaching. And as it does, our temperatures cool down. So that's some good news. We got some mid 80s in our valley floors with some 70s in our mountains. Maybe just a light jacket, if anything, this afternoon. Really, though, that's going to be mostly for my friends in the mountains. But let's talk about all of what we can expect and why we're seeing these really strong winds. So we have this upper level ridge off to our northeast, and with our low pressure system that's approaching, this is all aloft of us. Now it's carrying in some moisture from the Pacific. It's bringing in some cooler weather, but right in the middle, this is where those strongest winds are because it's increasing that pressure gradient force. And what happens is high pressure likes to flow to low pressure. And so when it does, we get these really strong winds. And on top of that, we're seeing these storms. So here's how it's going to react in terms of those smoke plumes. So we have this upper level low building, and as it does and starts to make its way through the area, a lot of that smoke first off focuses on McCall, Cascade, and parts of Stanley. But as winds start to shift and we get that northwesterly flow, I would expect it to build into Ketchum and Fairfield. Now, we will see impacts on the Treasure Valley, lighter smoke, however, but that is because of existing and newer wildfires within Oregon and California. Now, as this starts to shift off, we will start to see eventually a good dense smoke build into Ketchum, Fairfield, and Pine. Now, for us, I wouldn't be surprised if we do eventually start to see this as we go into our Wednesday morning. However, what we first need to look at is where that system is approaching. So this is all of our central mountains, and this is the idea of where we're going to have to watch today, where you see this big circulation of counterclockwise motion. Those are those isolated showers moving through the area. What's going to be important is gusty winds, lightning. Now, some of these downpours do have heavier rain, but others are lighter rain. And because we've been so dry, that's not going to aid in that wildfire risk. So there it is again. 1 through 5 is going to be your time for these storms. Now, it's going to be really important in these areas that we have a red flag warning because this is where we could possibly see some of those wildfires again. So if you are living in this area shaded in pink, just keep in mind it is going to be important to remain weather aware as you start to go about your Tuesday. Again, this is through 5 p.m. These are where those existing wildfires already are. And I do want to give an update as to what we saw yesterday. We had lightning strike totals. This is a map from the National Weather Service. We had a little bit over 5,000 in the area, but the main point is all these spots in purple, those were lightning strikes we saw, and we are definitely seeing those implications today with all the new existing wildfires. And if you want to stay up to date with us, you can head to idahonews6.com. But let's take a look at the week ahead. Now, we'll see 80s into Wednesday. That smoke plume will also start to build in. It's possible we could see it get better into the weekend. However, it's going to be one of those things we really have to watch for as winds start to shift. So Thursday, Friday, temperatures do ramp up. That heat does come back. So enjoy the cooler temperatures as we head into our afternoon.